Hey Bears fans! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. Bombshell news coming out of Chicago, folks. Word on the street is that DeAndre Swift, the dynamic running back who just landed with the Bears not too long ago, could already be on his way out. That's right, whispers are swirling around the league, and several insiders are hinting at a potential and shocking split between Swift and the Chicago Bears. For a team that seems so excited to bring him on board, this sudden twist feels like a plot straight out of a sports drama. It's the kind of news that makes you double-check your notifications and wonder, is this really happening? Well, we're here to break down everything we're hearing about this rumor, where it might be headed, and how it could shake up not only Chicago's offense, but also the entire running back market in the NFL. Let's rewind a little bit and set the scene. DeAndre Swift was seen as a major acquisition for the Bears, an offensive weapon that could finally give Justin Fields, or whoever ends up at quarterback, a versatile, reliable option out of the backfield. Swift's combination of speed, vision, and pass-catching ability made him an ideal fit for an offense that needed more explosiveness. Fans were pumped. The media was singing praises. It seemed like Chicago had found their guy for the long haul. But now, out of nowhere, talks are emerging about negotiations behind closed doors, and not the kind that suggest an extension or a bigger role. No, these are the kind of negotiations that hint at a potential departure. What's fueling these rumors? Several factors, actually. Sources close to the situation have hinted at some dissatisfaction on Swift's end. Whether it's about how he's being used in the offense, internal disagreements with coaching staff, or even concerns about the team's long-term direction, it's all very hush-hush right now. But where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Some insiders are pointing to recent team meetings where Swift reportedly looked disengaged. Others are citing his absence from voluntary team activities as a sign that something deeper is going on. All of this is contributing to a growing belief that Swift and the Bears might be headed for a shocking early divorce. From a business perspective, it's not that crazy when you think about it. Running backs in the NFL, as we know, face a tough market. Teams are becoming increasingly hesitant to commit long-term dollars to backs, no matter how talented they are. Swift, who has battled injuries in the past, might be looking for more security, something the Bears may not be ready to offer. Alternatively, Chicago's front office could be reassessing its roster priorities, especially with new leadership trying to put their stamp on the team. If they think they can get decent draft capital or another key player in return, moving Swift now might make sense. It's cold, but it's the reality of today's NFL. Now let's talk about potential landing spots, because you know that's where everyone's mind goes next. If Swift is truly on the trading block, there are a handful of teams that could make a move. The Miami Dolphins, for instance, have been sniffing around for more backfield depth despite their recent additions. The Baltimore Ravens could also be an intriguing destination, especially with their run-heavy offense and need for a reliable pass-catching back. Even the Dallas Cowboys, who've been linked to just about every running back on the market lately, could jump into the mix. Swift's versatility makes him a fit for a variety of systems, which only fuels the speculation that multiple teams might already be placing calls to Chicago. Of course, this is still just a rumor at this point. Neither Swift nor the Bears have made any official statements regarding a potential trade or release. In fact, some folks close to the team are downplaying the speculation, suggesting that all of this could be a leverage play for contract negotiations, or simply the product of a slow news cycle. But as we've seen time and time again in the NFL, these kinds of rumors don't just materialize out of thin air. There's usually some kernel of truth at the heart of it, even if the final outcome doesn't match the initial reports. So we're left in this tantalizing waiting game, wondering what's next. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. If Swift does leave, what does that mean for the Bears offense? That's a huge question. He was supposed to be a cornerstone of their revamped attack, someone who could take pressure off the quarterback and open up the playbook. Without him, Chicago would be left scrambling to fill that void. Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson are solid backs, but neither brings the same dynamic versatility that Swift offers. The Bears would either need to lean heavily on their current depth or go hunting for another back, either via trade, free agency, or even the waiver wire. Is not an ideal situation for a team hoping to finally turn the corner in a very competitive NFC North. Let's also not forget the fan reaction here. Bears fans had just started getting excited about what Swift could bring to the table. His jersey sales were climbing, he was featured prominently in team promotions, and there was a general sense of optimism around his fit in the system. If he's traded or released, it's going to feel like a gut punch to a fan base that's already endured its fair share of heartbreak over the years. The Bears have been trying to rebuild not just their roster, but also their image, and losing a marquee player like Swift this early could set back some of that progress. It raises bigger questions about the direction of the franchise. On the flip side, if Swift is unhappy and the coaching staff feels the relationship isn't salvageable, it might be better for both sides to part ways now rather than drag things out. Locker room chemistry is critical in the NFL, and an unhappy star can sometimes do more harm than good, even if they're producing on the field. We've seen similar situations play out with other teams, where a mutual parting of ways ultimately benefited everyone involved. So while this potential move feels shocking, it might actually be the smart play for both Swift and the Bears, depending on what's really going on behind the scenes. At the end of the day, this is one of those situations where only time will tell. For now, it remains a rumor, but it's a rumor that's gaining traction and making waves across the NFL landscape. If DeAndre Swift does end up leaving the Chicago Bears, it will be one of the more surprising and talked about moves of the offseason. Until then, we'll keep our ears to the ground, eyes on a transaction wire, and fingers crossed for some clarity soon. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should the Bears hold on to Swift? Or is it time for them to cut their losses and move on? This story is far from over, and you know we'll be right here breaking it all down for you as it develops. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.